Hello everyone. Let's go back to the 1820s in Britain, about 100 years after the famous South Sea bubble crash. You would think people had learned the lesson, right? But by 1825, a new wave of speculation had gripped the country. This time, it wasn't just the general public, but what happened was a lot of companies started hiring or they wanted the member of parliaments on their board. Yes, the very people who are trusted to run the nation were hired to run the companies as well. Obviously, they had a seat on the board of directors at that time who were deep into the mess. These MPs were hired as directors of shady companies which never used to show profit but just used to run the share prices just to get benefited. And obviously it was done mostly by the promoters and the MPs that are the members of parliaments, and they were hired as directors not just for their skills but just to add glamour and attract investors. They were like, human billboards who used their names and titles just to increase the share prices. Even top leaders like Duke of Wellington and Prime Minister back then in the 18th century of Britain called Lord Liverpool got involved in schemes that promised big dreams like growing silk in Britain and many more, but all crashed down in one go when the bubble burst. Newspapers like newspapers like the Times, you know, criticized MPs, saying that these people who are coming into the board of directors or getting the seat are there just to influence the share price and nothing more. And they were using profits to increase the share prices, and it was type of a rigging back then, what we call right now. So all these politicians, what they were doing is were putting profits over people. It was clear that the hard lessons, of these South Sea bubble were long forgotten, which happened earlier. The incident that this took place, and Parliament was too proud, too confident, and blind to the looming financial disaster. Hence, history had come full circle, and as always, greed repeats history, and that's what happened in the 18th century. And even after 3 centuries in this 21st century, again the same thing happens, right? Greed repeats history, and greed never goes. So this was one of the most fascinating thing that happened in one of the biggest scam at that time, which was the 18th century. Thank you.